channel. If you're new here, my name is Phil. In case you're clicking this video for the first time, you are very much welcome. So in today's video, we are making this yummy beef stew. So I have made some beef stews before on this channel, but this recipe just tops them all. This one is so good, so yummy. So this beef stew is filled with tender meat, carrots, potatoes, and some aubergine. I'm telling you, are going to love this. This one can be best served with anything you want, but I served mine with some chapati, which I really loved. The recipe is super simple to make. I've listed the ingredients for this recipe in the description box down below, so don't forget to check on that. So before you get started, I want to thank everyone who is on this channel, everyone who is making my recipes, everyone enjoying my recipes as well. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so that you don't miss any of my amazing recipes. You can also find me on Instagram or on TikTok at phils_kitchen. So without saying more, let's get started. So here I have about 400 grams of beef fillet. I'm just going ahead to cut it into smaller cubes. So once you're done cutting the meat, you're just going to put it in your cooking pot. So for our next step, we're going to boil this meat until it's tender. So here I have my cooking pot. I'll go ahead and add the beef. I'm also going to add some water. So for this recipe, I'm using 4 cups of water. We'll need all that liquid to make a beef stock, which we'll use to make our beef stew later. Next, I'm also adding some salt, and I'm also using 2 bay leaves. So quickly mix that, and then I'm just going to put this over medium heat. We'll boil this for about 30 to 40 minutes or until the meat is tender. So now let's quickly prepare the vegetables that we will be using for this recipe as the meat is boiling. So here I have 1 medium-sized white onion. You can use red onion or yellow onions if you have. So I'm just going ahead to slice that. Once you're done, you'll put that aside. Here I have some carrots as well. I'm using 1 carrot, so just go ahead and chop that as well into smaller pieces, as you see the way I'm doing it here. Also for this recipe, I'll be using 1 aubergine, or as some of you call it, eggplant. So I like adding aubergine to my beef stew because it makes the sauce very nice and thick. So just go ahead and chop it nicely. Once you're done, you'll put that aside as we go to our next step. Also here I have some potatoes. So for this recipe, I'm using 2 medium-sized potatoes. I'm just roughly cutting them into smaller cubes. Next here I have garlic. So for this beef stew, we'll be using 2 garlic cloves. So just go ahead and peel out that outer layer, and then I'm just going to chop it into very smaller pieces. So make sure you've finely chopped your garlic, as you see the way I've done it here. Next, let's prepare our tomatoes. So I'll be using 2 tomatoes. You'll just go ahead and cut that into small chunks. Set that aside and let's get to cooking. before we get to cooking our beef stew, let's check if our meat is ready. This has been boiling for about 40 minutes. As you can see, the stock looks so yum and beautiful. So just go ahead and remove that bay leaf, and also I want to give it a quick test and see if our beef is tender. And as you can see, I'm just tearing it with a fork and it's easily tearing apart. That means that our beef is ready. Now let's get to making our beef stew. So here I have my pan. I'm just going to put it over medium heat, and then I'm just going ahead to add some oil. I'll heat that. Once the oil is ready, I'll add the sliced onions. I'm going to saute that for about 30 seconds, and then next I'm just going to add the chopped garlic. I'm going to continue cooking that for about a minute or until the onions are nicely translucent. Next, I'm adding the chopped carrots. I'm going to continue cooking this while turning for about a minute as well. Next, we will add the potatoes. I'll go ahead and give that a quick stir as well. So remember guys, I've listed the ingredients for this recipe in the description box down below, so don't forget to check on that. Next, I'm adding the aubergine, or as some of you call it, eggplant. So as I've mentioned before, I like adding aubergine to my stews because it makes the stew more thicker. So I'm also adding the tomatoes. I'm just going to stir that while cooking for about a minute. Next, you'll add some tomato paste. I'm using 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Continue stirring that until everything is well incorporated. I'll cover the pan with a lid, and then I'm just going to let this cook for about 2 minutes. So this is just to allow the tomatoes to cook with that steam until they're nicely tender and crushed up. Go ahead and give that a quick stir, and make sure that you're pondering any tomatoes that haven't been crushed yet. Next, we will add the beef stock that we reserved earlier. This beef stock really adds so much flavor in this beef stew, so go ahead and give that a quick stir. Next, you will also add the beef. So now let's season our beef stew. So here I have some salt, I also have some dry thyme, some dry rosemary leaves, some paprika, some black pepper, and I'm also using 1 beef cube. So this beef cube really adds a lot of flavor in this beef stew. So remember guys, I've listed all this and their measurements in the description box down below, so don't forget to check on that. So just add all that seasoning to your beef stew, and then you'll quickly stir that. Make sure everything is nicely mixed, and then I'm just going to cover this and let this cook for about 10 minutes or until the vegetables are nicely cooked and tender. And just like that, our beef stew is ready. It looks so yum. It smells so amazing as well. You guys, you are just going to love this. So I like serving this immediately with some chapati. You can serve it with any bread or even rice or ugali will do. This one is best enjoyed with the family during those cozy nights. I'm telling you, you are going to love this. I served mine with some soft chapatis. If you want the recipe for these soft chapatis, you can get it on my YouTube channel. I will link it at the end of this video. So anyway guys, I hope you go ahead and make this and enjoy it as much as I did.
And that's how we're making
today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this beef stew recipe. I hope you're going to make it. As usual, if you make it, don't forget to tell me how yours came out on the comment section down below. Also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more of my amazing recipes. So till my next video, bye.